Hello, and welcome back to Friday 15. So as promised, this Friday we're going to feel sassy about sassy. And with me in the studio is Alexandra Méhat from Fortinet. Welcome, Alexandra, to the program.
Hi, thank you. Thank you very much for having me. And yes, looking forward to this Friday 15 today with you.
Good. All right. So sassy, pronounced sassy, spelled S-A-S-E. So we're going to start off by breaking apart the acronym. Okay, Secure Access Service Edge. So Alexandra, tell us, go through that. Secure Access Service Edge. What does that mean? A very definition.
Yeah, we love acronyms with sassy. There's so many of them. First time I saw them, I got lost myself. But secure access, that's the kind of the easy one. It means wherever you are, wherever you're at home, wherever you're traveling, in a coffee shop, whatever coffee shop you pick, in an RV in the middle of the US. a lot of people were there during pandemic. Well, you need to have secure access to the internet. You need to have secure access to all your SaaS application, thousands out there, like Office 365, for example. You need to have access to your corporate applications. So that means accessing securely to all these from anywhere.
Okay.
Service. Yeah. So secure access. Service. Well, this service is in the cloud. It's a solution that is in the cloud, and that is an annual subscription per user. So it's offered as a service. And edge, well, edge as opposed to core being your data center, your public cloud, everything that is out there in the network. Edge is every device that allows you to access this. So it means you secure the edge. You secure all the devices and what the users are using to access the internet and everything out there.
Okay, so good, well defined. So secure access means how can you securely get onto the network? The service will go into a little later in the program, but that is what you provide, is this service to do that. And the edge, just looking at the edge a little bit closer, and like we said, there's edge and there's core. So core is core is the actual network itself. Is that right?
Yes, core is all the servers and everything that make up the internet.
Okay.
Core is your data center.
It's the actual. Okay, so that's
the actual applications. It's the actual applications and the websites.
Okay, so it's the stuff that is composed of the robots, like all the technology itself is the core, and the edge is that kind of intersection or that meeting point between a human being and the network. So if I am like sitting here or standing here on my phone and connected to the network, I'm on the edge. The network is the core. Okay.
You are.
So human beings have no physical way of being part of a core unless we turn ourselves into a binary code and put ourselves in there.
You're Lucy in the movie. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
Right. So looking at that edge then, so we're going to look at everywhere you are on that intersection, any kind of that connection point between people and the way we actually interact with the edge, interact with the network. That's the edge, and there are threats there. So looking at that threat of the edge, so if you're sitting in your office on the network itself, is there a threat there, or are we looking at more the other types of threats?
Well, there are threats everywhere. Every time you access the core, the outside.
Okay.
There are like 1.2 billion malwares out there, unfortunately. There are ransomware, meaning that there's a little spyware that can be downloaded to your computer, and then it will encrypt all your files, and then you receive an email saying, if you want your files back, give me money, unfortunately. And so every time you access a website, you can click on a malicious link. Every time you access a SaaS application, there can be a malware coming in to your computer and you not even noticing it, or a spyware that will then take maybe your credit card number if you ever enter it in somewhere on the website, and then send it out without you even noticing it either. So there's unfortunately threats everywhere.
So because go ahead. Yeah. So I want to know what
in the office you have your firewall protecting you. But outside of the office, you have solution like VPN. Good solution. Nothing bad about VPN, but it's been there for 20 years, and there are more modern solutions today to protect you and more efficient, more granular, more everything.
Okay, so if you are sitting in the office connected to the network, generally, the golden rule is if you have a firewall, you should be okay. But looking at that remote access, you're sitting in the coffee shop, you're sitting at home. So there are different ways you are interacting from the edge into the core. So, okay, like you said, one way is you're going onto your corporate network, you're using a VPN. So what exactly is that threat of using a VPN?
Well, VPN, number one, you need to log in. Someone needs their credentials to access the VPN to enable it. And not everybody does it. We're all humans. Sometimes we don't want to log in or anything. Or when we're traveling, we don't always think of accessing the VPN. When we access the public Wi-Fi in an airport, that is a good thing to do, is entering your VPN, by the way. You have less chance to be hacked. But the VPN allows access to, once you're in the VPN, you have access to all the applications. And so when you're off the VPN, you can have malware get on your computer. You put a USB key that can have a malicious file without you knowing it. And then the malware can, once you're on the VPN, the malware can go to all the applications. So we have other solution like Zero Trust, where you trust no one, you check everything. And it's really for each application, you check the device, you check the user, you check his credentials every time he wants to access the application. So that's different from VPN that opens up the whole application.
Right. Okay, so one instance is corporate network, going in VPN, there still can be malware, and unless you have a Zero Trust network, you're vulnerable. Another example. Yeah. What if I'm not going onto the corporate network? I am using my, going to Outlook, Office 365 is not on the network. Is that what's
VPN allows you to have? Yeah, VPN allows you to have an encrypted tunnel. It's kind of secure, but now there are solutions that are included in SASE, such as another acronym, but Cloud Access Security Broker, CASB, and that's the component that allows you to have full secure access to SaaS application. So you're going to your Office 365 on the web. It will check everything that goes in and out and make sure there's no malware, or with data leak prevention, DLP that you might have heard of. Also make sure that your credit card number, your SSN number, or whatever is not going out by mistake. It will be blocked if it's not supposed to get out.
So if you have, say, an antivirus stored on your computer at home and you're just checking your Office 365 email, that still could be insufficient.
Yeah, antivirus by definition is again the virus, if there's any virus, but all these mouse or ransomware, malware, all these spyware, etc. Some of them are not even known by the antivirus at the time you do it. And SASE also has something called sandboxing, where when there's something that looks malicious but is not well known, they kind of quarantine it until they check it. And then once it's deemed valid, it can go to your device. Otherwise, if it's deemed malicious, it will be blocked. So once again, even the threats that are not known yet from your antivirus can be also blocked.
And once again, reiterating this point that for remote users, you're not protected by your firewall. And then many different ways that you are on that edge going into using your computer, and that computer therefore ends up in your corporate network and is open to all that open to all those vulnerabilities.
Part of SASE is what we call firewall as a service. So you have the firewall inside the cloud location you access. You have all the features that allows you this secure access. And it's as if you have the firewall, but it's in the cloud. And the agent on your computer, for example, will access this cloud, this service in the cloud, and then everything will be checked as if you were behind a firewall in the office.
So when people hear this, they think, well, like I said, I have VPN, sure, I have the antivirus, I have other applications. Why go to that? So I'm going back to that, secure access service, this kind of unified system. Give us a sense of perspective. Like, why go to single system versus patchwork protection?
Well, number one, it's easier for sure. Instead of having, I don't know, we had for example, a customer in Australia that had 17 different solutions to secure his network and his remote users and everything. So 17 is a bit too much, I think.
Right. Yes.
And they thought too. So they came to us and said, can you help us? It's terrible to manage because you have 17 different dashboards.
Right.
Or your 17 different solutions. So you need 17, maybe not 17, but multiple different people that will be experts in either all of them, parts of them, whatever. So we all know that it's hard to find cybersecurity specialists today. Or network specialists. That's a bit easier. But you need almost 17 people that each know each vendor, or some know 2 or 3, whatever. And so we reduced the 17 vendor to consult to one with Fortinet. And that's really the one simplicity, ease of use,
right?
Ease of management, and sometimes cost effectiveness too.
Right.
And also, the fact that you don't need 17 different people either.
Yeah, 17 different people. Gosh, I can't even imagine. I don't know where you put them all, sitting all in a row,
Exactly.
So, right. So I guess a question would be, could I still use certain applications I have and bring it into the system, or do I need to tear out everything? How does it work?
So, for example, if you have authentication solution like I don't know, Okta, Azure, Entra ID for Microsoft, etc., that you keep because you still need that multi-factor authentication, and we integrate with it. You can also keep your VPN if you want for some people, or to access your servers in the data center. That's still need somehow a VPN for the IT teams. Antivirus, you can have them coexist. If you like your current antivirus, you can use your existing one or the one we have in our agent. Or you can keep your existing one if you have devices that don't have an agent. This way you don't have the antivirus from SASE. So definitely we integrate with other solutions, but at least for the secure access, everything is fully nicely packaged with a nicely bow and one management and one agent for SASE. So no need to have multiple agents or multiple consoles.
Yeah. So you've already said this, but I had to write this down just to confuse everybody. I
love your play on words.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Make the CASI for SASE or make the case for SASE. Either way, I'll make the case for SASE.
People call it SASE, but
okay. So my question here, though, is so who's a good audience? Like, who's a good buyer? Who would benefit most from a SASE?
Well, SASE is for all the companies that have remote users. So 84% of the companies have hybrid workers. Some are fully remote also. So every time I ask me, what's the best vertical for SASE? I'm like, all companies almost. But where we see the most success, let's say, is in all the regulated type of environments like finance, legal, government, education a lot too, because some ministers, there's a ministry in Canada that required full deep inspection into all the websites to make sure that all the students were safe wherever they were studying or e-learning or anything like that. So we have 2 actually school districts in Canada, in Ontario, where the Ministry of Education really asked them to have full security for all the students and their staff. So really, there's a need in many different organizations. We see stuff in automotive, we see stuff in manufacturing, almost all verticals.
Right. I'm thinking like what jumps out at me is higher ed, because that is people are coming from many parts of the edge there. That's not necessarily actually protected by the firewall.
We also have a school district that said, we want student equity. Not
Right.
all the students can access a smartphone.
Yes.
Sure. And this way, then giving them a managed device that has an agent and everything allows them to access the application and the e-learning and everything securely, even if they don't have a smartphone. So I love that student equity business outcome.
That makes a lot of sense. I like that. So we're going to finish off with some resources and recommendations. I have here, this is Fortinet. So that's Alexandra is product director at Fortinet. I love this single vendor SASE for dummies. So if this wasn't simple enough, don't worry, you're in good company. Fortinet itself has its dummy guide. So you can go to the QR code or just Google this and this will come up. And any last words for us, Alexandra?
Well, yes, definitely. There are all this modern solution to secure your remote users. SASE is a nice little nice package one that you can, it's a journey to go to SASE. It won't go lit up right away. So you can for a while and you can go to SASE step by step. But definitely is one of the cool solutions out there. Pretty sassy solution. That
thank you. Thank you for that. So thank you for joining us for this 15 minutes. Very informative and wishing you all a good weekend.
Thank you very much. Bye, everyone.
Bye.